Precious one, in this life, it is very important to take deep thought of every action, every project, every step we are taking. It is very important. The foundation is very important. Foundation, the foundation of a building is the lowest load-bearing part of the building, typically beneath the surface of the earth. That is the foundation, the lowest load-bearing part of a building. And so houses are built on foundations. Foundations are not usually seen after they are done. They are not usually not noticed. In fact, when it comes to a foundation, they are usually not wanted but needed because of the monies people have to sink into a foundation. If you want a good building, you need to spend money on the foundation, particularly if you are raising a storage structure. And the strength of the foundation determines the kind of building, the superstructure that must come on the substructure. The foundation is a substructure, and its weight and its quality determines the kind of superstructure you must raise on that foundation. So the strength of the foundation must be commensurated by the quality of material and the weight thereof. And so, for instance, if you have built a foundation for a 4-story building, you don't go and raise atakwame on it. People might think that you have gone wrong upstairs. Foundation is very important. The lowest load-bearing part of a building, typically beneath the surface of the ground. It's very important. The foundation is very important. You go to some places, some buildings are sinking because time was not taken, care was not taken to ensure that the foundation was properly laid. Some people build in places, the buildings begin to sink because they didn't take time to test the soil and check the topography of the place. You might have learned of the Leaning Tower of Pisa in Italy. Probably was raised against the topography of the ground, or the foundation, the soil was not properly tested. The building went up and inclined. If the engineers had realized and raised the foundation against the inclination of the land, or reinforced the foundation, the tower wouldn't have been leaning. We call it the Leaning Tower of Pisa because when the floors were raised, they found out that it was inclined. Foundation. Foundation is what the Hebrews call yasad. Yasad. The Greeks call it themelios. It is the grounding, the setting under a building, the weight of the building, where the building rests, the weight of the building rests. And like I said, it is the weight of the foundation, the quality thereof, that determines the kind of material that must come on it. I remember years ago, we had a bathroom, a small bathroom. The blocks were raised up to the head, the neck level. And I asked my younger brother who's into B&C, block laying and concreting, or building and construction, can you add one more block so our heads will be covered? And his response was this: the foundation cannot support one more block. And I began to learn lessons from that. So your life, you have to make sure as a person, the foundation, your foundation, you have taken excellent care of your foundation. Because the Bible says in Psalm 82 verse 5, they know not and they don't understand. They walk on in darkness. All the foundations of the earth are out of course. What is your family like? What is your family line like? What is the genealogy like? You study a family, you see certain patterns. You are not to just toe the line or tag along, because the foundation have been laid by forefathers, ancestors. Some of them did things they thought was right, but was actually worrying descendants. And so you need to be careful the kind of life you are raising over that foundation, because if you just tag along, your life is added to that foundation as a block on that foundation, and it adds to the strength of that foundation. And so you must determine to start your life well. And if it did not start well, it is not too late to have a good start with God. It is not too late to have a new beginning with God. You can start your life right. You can start your life right. Your foundation is very important. I was talking about foundation. Yes, the foundation we're building. Foundation can also be used to refer to the pawns ladies use. So we have what I got to know, Mary Kay foundation. They use it to smear their face. They lay the foundation. You see it, well smeared and stuck to the face. And then they put add-ons. They add other things on it. That's the they call it foundation. You can have a suit that have been there for hours. It also has a foundation. So we'll talk about foundation, something that is at the base, usually at the base. And if you don't check the base of your life, the future can be bleak. If you look at the Chinese bamboo, for the first year, you will not see shoot. Several months, you will never see any shoot. But after that, the first month, you will see it going as high as about 80 feet. The very first month that it starts coming from the ground, the shoot start coming, it goes up in meters because the root has been taken care of. Archbishop Charles Adinasari, my papa, has said that if you see a big tree, it has a deep root. So it is important to work on your foundation, your weight. When others are rushing and they are making haste, you are taking your time to build on your foundation. And usually, like I said, foundation, people don't take notice of it. They are not even interested in it. They seem not to want it, but it is very much needed. So when nobody seems to take notice of you, and you are in God's workshop, God is working on you, creating a masterpiece out of you, people don't see it until you come to the limelight. And it takes time, it takes patience, it takes discipline, it takes nerves and guts to come up like that. It doesn't just come on a silver platter. So you must prepare for your future. Like I said, you have to review your family background.